Hi there, my name is James with McCormick Systems, and today I'll be taking you through McCormick Systems plumbing estimating software and highlighting some of the great features that make us the go-to for efficient and accurate estimates. A little history on McCormick. We've been around for 40 plus years. We've helped thousands of companies streamline their estimating process, and ultimately we look to help companies win jobs and be profitable. McCormick Systems is owned by Foundation Construction Accounting Software. We actually offer direct integration with Foundation, so we can easily move from estimate to active job. Both companies have a long history of helping contractors navigate really the increasing demands of our industry. This stuff's not getting any easier. We've got to be more detailed with our bids, and McCormick certainly gives you a way to do that. So look for that relationship between Foundation and McCormick to continue, and really we're only going to increase the benefits to our users in terms of the integration and having an all-in-one solution in your office for accounting and estimating. So with that, we're going to run you through a quick overview, kind of a high-level overview of our plumbing estimating software, and kind of show you how McCormick Systems can help you. So as I mentioned, we do offer an all-in-one solution here, not just from an accounting and estimating standpoint, but if we look at the estimating program on its own, we've got a way to actually really take you from PDF to proposal, bring your plans in, count, measure, and put your estimate together. I will go ahead and open up the chat here for questions. If you do have any questions, I would say just save them till the end. We'll try to address them at the end if we can. And after we finish up our quick demonstration here, if anyone wants to run through a more comprehensive web demonstration, I would typically sit down with you for 45 minutes to an hour and really dig deep into the program and make sure you really can see and see how you can take advantage of all the benefits of our software. So with that, let's go ahead and take you through how our system works. So with McCormick, it's a 5-step process to put a bid together. And we would click on the McCormick icon on our desktop, and we click on that first step here, which is jobs. And this is sort of what your system would look like after you've got a few jobs in the system. A lot of this dashboard here is customizable. I'm going to take you through the flow of the program here today. Again, not hitting on every single detail, but giving you more of a high-level overview. So to start a new job, pretty simple. We just click on the new job button, and then we would fill in the details on that job. Bringing plans in, very simple. You click your DEP drawings, add drawings, and you're just searching your desktop for the page, the set, whatever you're looking for. And if you do have a large PDF file with 100 pages in it, you certainly can bring all those pages in, or you can separate that out and bring them in page by page, just selecting the pages that you want if you wish. So really step one is very simple. Set up the job, bring the plans in. Step two is the organizational structure of your bid. There's really two things you want to look at when you put this together. How can we be organized, in doing our takeoff to make sure that we do get everything included that we want, accounted for in this estimate. And number two is, how can we utilize the information after the fact? So perhaps I have won the job. Can I run reports? Did I set it up so I could run reports? And possibly use to order materials, or kind of take a look at my manpower needs for certain portions of the job. Maybe use it for those monthly billing meetings you're submitting, for all that work you've done in the previous month, and you've got some data to back up what's actually been completed on that project. So labels is a very simple step, but also a very important step. Labels can be blank. You can actually work from a template as well. So if most of your jobs break down the same way, never mind doing all that repeat data entry. Just have a template set up, and you really could get through the first two steps in 30 seconds to a minute, which brings us to step number 3. And McCormick does give you a full database. You're looking at about 40,000 items, roughly 15,000 pre-built assemblies in the system, certainly very expandable. This is your database window. We can toggle back and forth between our items here. Item, of course, is just that. So if I'm clicking on 2-inch cast iron, no hub, I can review it and see the specifications that are built into the system. We are compatible with the major pricing services out there, so it's easy to get pricing updated in the system through our pricing service, or maybe just a simple Excel file. And then we do have multiple labor levels built into the system as well. All right, so let's go ahead and show you how to do a little takeoff. Manual takeoff is simply, click on an item and enter a footage or a quantity. Very simple. And when we do that, that ends up down in here in our audit trail. If we do need to search for something, there's a couple different ways we can do that. We can use our menu over here. If I'm looking for, a particular, let's say, copper pipe, all right, maybe I'm looking for, drain waste vent, or let's say 95.5. All right, and maybe I want some L hard. There we go. So once I click on that last category, that takes me, to all the particular materials that fit the criteria that I sort of just laid out there. So again, if I do want, a particular footage, I enter the or select the size rather, and enter the footage. All right, and that's really it. Oh, let's try that again. There we go, and we see that down in our audit trail. Okay, so that's basic manual takeoff. And again, you have both items and assemblies. Let's touch real quick on assemblies. I'm sure most people know what those are, but if I pick, let's say, a plumbing fixture assembly here, we'll just grab let's say a wall mount lav here. I'm sort of specking out how we're gonna plumb this. Or is it gonna be with copper, PEX? Is it going to be, is my drain waste vent gonna be PVC? Is it gonna be ABS, cast iron? I'll just go with ABS here. And here's a wall hung lab. So again, taking them off is simply a matter of entering the quantities. I need to enter down in our audit trail, but what did I get? Well, with assemblies, we see that we've gotten all of these items taken off with just a couple of clicks. So 16, 18 items in here with just a couple of clicks. So essentially everything we would need from, if we look at it from a sort of a vertical point of view, from the drain up through the roof, really. Right, including the roof flashing. Let's jump into the digital takeoff, which is really something, one of those areas that McCormick really excels in, and this is the ability to count and measure on the screen. In McCormick, you have the ability to set up shortcuts in a lot of different places, and we could do that back in the step 3, kind of our database window there, our material window. We can also do it right here through favorites lists that are user definable. So you're going to have a certain amount of parts in your industry and the niche within your industry where you're going to see those parts on a lot of different jobs. And what these shortcut lists allow us to do is just, it's quick grab and go items. I want to take off some copper pipe, I can left click and left click again, and I've got a run of pipe taken off. So a little hard to see. Let's see if I can expand that here. In the lower left, I've got, that was an 11-foot run of 1-inch type L. All right, here's fittings we can grab. All right, drop those in anywhere. Let's do some cast iron. So I don't have any cast iron in my favorites list. I did create a favorites list back here in my shortcuts though. We'll do some 4-inch cast iron no hub. So I've grabbed the assembly that I want, and we'll just run based on what I can see here on the screen. But left click to start, left click to stop, left click to start, left click to stop. You'll see in the lower left, it's tallying everything up for me. So maybe I've got some 3 or some 4-inch coming off of here. Okay, now I'll go back in and maybe grab some 2-inch. All right, so 2-inch cast iron no hub. Again, anyone to review an assembly, we just hit our byproducts, it shows what's in it. So this is just getting couplings and pipe at this point. Click here, all right, and we just kind of branch all this off here, and we could go in and add our fittings here after we're done. So really just kind of representing on the print where everything is going to go on the job itself. All right, so let's left click to start, left click to end our line. So that's basic linear takeoff. To do count takeoff, pretty similar. You grab it from your shortcut list or your main material list in the database. I think it's probably a great idea to have a shortcut list with all your fixtures. So those are now quick grab and go items. I can grab a wall hung lav, and take it off. If I want to rotate that so it's facing the correct direction, I can. Every symbol, every assembly, every item in McCormick is pre-assigned a symbol. However, everything is customizable. So if you want to change your cast iron to a certain color, your ABS, your PVC, all that stuff is customizable. You can adjust line thicknesses. So we always recommend to our users to kind of set this up in a way that makes sense for you folks. But again, grabbing an item or an assembly out of the database and counting it on the screen. All right, here's a toilet or a water closet. All right, grab another one here, take that off. And of course, everything is being tallied for us on the lower left. All right, now more importantly, as I mark up my drawing, everything is flowing into my audit trail. So as I mark up the drawing, in other words, everything is being counted and measured. So when I take off that lab, I showed you everything that was in it. So if I just click on one of these real quick, you want to see what's in that wall hung lab that we took off, you know, escutcheons, pipe, glue, solder joints, copper, elbows, your ABS, again, the roof flashing, sanitary tee, caps, etc. So effectively everything we would need from rough in to trim on that. So that's where the time savings comes in with McCormick. With this drawing, can be printed. It can be saved as a PDF and emailed. So a lot of different things we can do with this. You can edit a PDF with McCormick. You can create red lines. If I didn't have the plumbing system designed on this job, I could actually lay it all out and design it, and the program's going to estimate the project for me while I design it. So really a lot of capabilities beyond just counting and measuring like some of the other programs out there. We're design build, as built, altering that PDF. So lots of different things again that we can do here. Okay, let's say all of our takeoff is done. Where do we go from here? So we just close this out, right, and then click step number 4. Step number 4 is our extension. What's going to happen here is the program is going to take all those parts that we counted and measured, all those assemblies, and it's going to drop them into a material list. And it's going to separate them out, giving me a list of items on this project. So I'm going to roll this back over here to this screen. At this point, I'm really just reviewing. I can filter out what I want to see, so I can, in other words, separate out my different label sets that I created. Let's say I don't want to see these particular 3 here. Go back to my material, and I can see just those materials within those given label sets that I created. I also could look at more of a macro view, just look at the totals, total material dollars, total material hours. So step 4 here is just about sorting the information, choosing how we want to view it, and making adjustments. So this is the point where our estimators would go in and double check everything, maybe adjust some quantities, maybe adjust our labor up or down given what we know about the project itself. So step 4 again, review and make adjustments. If everything looks good here, we would hit send to summary, and that takes us to our 5th and final step of the program. Tells us it's been sent. And step 5 is where we wrap everything up. This is where we finish up our bid. So the program has told us that it's going to take 1,911 hours on this job. There's a material dollar amount. What we do here in this 5th and final step is just work across these tabs. So on my labor tab, I can build a crew for this job. And let's push over, I've got a foreman, we'll do a journeyman, fitter, etc. And then I would just assign percentages to each of these labor classifications. Or I could just do a flat labor rate if I wanted to as well. Again, there's different ways to do many different things within McCormick. Next, I would go to my quotes tab. And all these tabs work the same. You're filling in your supplier quotes, your subcontractors, your direct job expenses, general conditions, consumables, maybe things that you can't necessarily account for on the print itself, but they are still costs that you're going to incur on the job. Equipment rental. This can also be part of your template that you create. And in that template, we want you to set up all your suppliers, your subcontractors, your direct job expenses. If you need to add additional expense categories in here, you can. All right, so again, we talk about reducing repetitive data entry. This is one of those steps that you can kind of front load a lot of this information and then just go in and enter the quotes, the dollar figures at the end. And of course, there's a tax tab in here as well. And the last thing we really got to do is just add our overhead and profit. So let's say we're going to just do a standard 10 and 15. And once we do that, there's our sell price, which is equal to our bid number, 243,484. And these can, these numbers can be individually entered as well. So if I only wanted to profit, put 10% profit on my labor, I could do that. 18% on my supplier quotes. You're certainly able to do those things. So that's a quick, run through of the 5 steps of McCormick. Built into our system is a change order tracking, change order module into our McCormick Pro system. And we also have executive dashboards. We've got different graphical representations of everything in our top sheet here as well. So there's a lot of ways you can kind of view the information that could be helpful, perhaps in those weekly, monthly production meetings. Looking at those dashboards, those look aheads in terms of what's going on and maybe overall numbers. So again, that's a quick rundown of McCormick's plumbing estimating software. Again, it's about probably a quarter of the time I would spend on a comprehensive demo with someone. If anyone does want to, run through a more comprehensive demo, I can be reached at jmack@mccormicksys.com. So that's letter J, M-A-C-K @mccormicksys.com. All right. And that is a wrap for today. That's McCormick's plumbing estimating software again. And if I don't have any questions here, we'll go ahead and conclude our webinar for today. All right, I think we are done here, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you very much.